First, just let's limit the focus. We cannot discuss today whether the entire Torah is from God. It will take about 30 hours. I used to do it in Mechina, but there's not time for that, obviously, this morning. What can be addressed in the limited amount of time that we have is whether or not God spoke to the Jews at Mount Sinai. Is there a rational basis for believing that something supernatural took place at Mount Sinai? That, I think, can be addressed in the limited amount of time that we have. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to do, first I'll give you an overview of the whole structure so that you'll be able to follow along as we go and you'll know exactly where in the structure we are, and then we'll actually dive in. What we're going to do is, at the beginning, we're going to start by evaluating the credibility of religions generally. And I want to do that in order to get a feeling for how does one establish credibility when dealing with mythologies. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how, in about a minute, you can undermine the credibility of a religion. I'll give you an algorithm. You'll be able to use the algorithm. You'll get a little bit of a practice with it. You'll see how it works. And then we're going to take that very same algorithm and we're going to apply it to the Jewish mythology, which is that God spoke to the Jews at Mount Sinai. And you will see the Jewish mythology go up in flames, just like all the others that you apply this algorithm to. It blows the credibility out of basically any religion on the planet. Okay, that is all part one, right? Establishing the credibility of religions generally, including Judaism, and you will see that religions do not do too well with this algorithm. Okay. Part two, I'm going to make an attempt to reestablish the credibility of the Jewish claim that God spoke to the Jews at Mount Sinai. That will take place in 3 stages. There'll be part 1, a part 2, a part 3, and when you step back and you look at that structure, that part 1, part 2, and part 3, you'll see to some degree we will have reestablished the credibility of the claim that God spoke to the Jews at Mount Sinai. And then part 3 will be, I call it the bomb. I'm going to drop a bomb. You probably shouldn't say that in Israel. But I'm going to then launch an independent third argument also for the credibility of the Jewish claim that God spoke to the Jews at Mount Sinai. Okay. That is the overall structure. Last word of introduction walking in. I am not going to attempt to prove, in the mathematical sense, anything. I can prove there's 180 degrees in a triangle. Beyond that, I basically can't prove anything in life. And what I discovered is that people who offer proof generally are charlatans, and people who demand proof are generally trying to shut down the conversation. And mature minds don't require proof. What mature minds require is enough evidence to make an intelligent judgment. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to, using this 3-part structure, pile tons of evidence on the table and enable you then to go off and make your own independent judgment what you think. But proof is not going to happen this morning. Okay, fine. Okay, that I think is all the introductions we need. We can dive in.